All right, well, welcome to the monthly PolitiQ Challenge, the only game show where you can prove that you know politics. Today's three contestants, Greg, Adrian, and Isaac, have made their way to the top of the July monthly PolitiQ leaderboard by correctly answering the most number of questions related to the hot topics in politics. And today, y'all will be competing for $50. So let's go ahead and meet the contestants. Joining us from Riverside, Illinois is Greg. How's it going, Greg?
How are you?
Joining us from Chicago is Adrian.
Hi.
And joining from San Francisco, but currently Alaska, is Isaac. All right. So before we begin the first round, I just want to look at the categories for the first game board, starting with coronavirus, measurement of time, in which every answer is a measurement of time, U.S. and the world, and then finally major headlines. So I believe that Greg is coming in with the highest PolitiQ score, so he will get to choose the first category. So the game board's yours.
Okay. Major headlines. I guess for 100.
All right, major headlines for 100. All right, over 1,000 companies have joined a boycott of this social media company over complaints that it allows disinformation and hate speech. Okay, Adrian.
Facebook?
Yeah, that's correct.
Major headlines 200.
The U.S. imposed sanctions on numerous officials from this country for alleged human rights abuses of ethnic minorities. Adrian again.
China?
Yep, that's correct. Okay, Adrian again.
Major headlines 300.
President Trump reportedly ignored intelligence earlier this year that Russian operatives offered members of this terrorist organization financial rewards for killing U.S. troops. Isaac.
What is the Taliban?
That is correct. Also, no need to answer in the same style of Jeopardy if you don't want to, but
All right.
yeah.
Oh,
I like it. I like it. Good
You're
start.
more than welcome to. I just don't feel compelled. All right,
Just
Isaac.
tab it.
Sorry?
Yeah, I just said a tab it.
Yeah.
Major headlines for 400.
The Supreme Court recently upheld a Trump administration rule that allows employers to decline offering blank to workers if they have religious or moral objections. Adrian.
birth control.
That is correct. All right. Adrian, go ahead.
Major headlines 500.
Cool. In July, the Senate voted overwhelmingly to put limits on the transfer of military equipment to police forces as part of this massive defense spending bill. Isaac.
What is the HEROES Act?
Incorrect. Anyone else want to venture a guess? All right. Good guess. That bill is related to coronavirus stimulus. This is the National Defense Reauthorization Act. Okay, Greg, I'm going to open it up to you to choose the next category.
Let me try measurements of time for 100.
All right. Last month, the Trump administration carried out the first federal execution in 17 blank. Adrian.
Years.
That is correct.
U.S. and the world 100.
Last week, the Trump administration announced it will begin withdrawing U.S. troops from this European country in a move that critics argue will benefit Russia. Isaac?
What is Germany?
Yeah, that's right. Greg, yeah, I see you raising your hand. You're just like a millisecond
No.
too late every time.
My wife's laughing at me.
Oh, nice. All right, who got that correct? Isaac?
Yeah, let's do measurement of time for 200.
All right. According to a new report, polar bears could become extinct by the end of the blank due to the effects of climate change. Adrian?
Century?
Yeah, that's right. Everyone loves the polar bear, so I had to throw that one in there.
Click on next. Click on next.
U.S. and the, is that me? US
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
world,
it's you.
200.
What country has the second largest number of coronavirus infections behind the U.S. with 2.4 million? Isaac?
Brazil?
Yeah, that's right. Okay, Isaac?
Let's do measurement of time for 300.
Recently, the total number of children hospitalized with coronavirus in Florida has increased by approximately 30% each blank. Greg?
Week.
Yeah, that's right. There it is. On the board.
On the board.
On the board. All right. Greg, go ahead and choose.
Measurements of time for 400.
Hunger linked to the coronavirus pandemic is leading to the deaths of about 10,000 children around the world each blank. Isaac.
Month.
Yeah, that's right. And that sort of announcement or report came the same day that the WHO announced that the coronavirus pandemic is by far the most severe global health crisis that the organization has ever faced. All right, Isaac, go ahead and choose again.
Let's do measurement of time for 500.
According to government statistics released last week, the U.S. economy experienced its worst drop blank last quarter due to the coronavirus pandemic. Isaac?
What is ever?
Yeah. Okay. Isaac, go ahead and choose again.
Let's do U.S. and the world for 300.
The Pentagon announced the U.S. has withdrawn from 5 military bases and reduced the size of its forces in this country as part of a recent peace agreement. Adrian?
Afghanistan.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, go ahead and choose again.
U.S. and the world 400.
In July, the U.S. abruptly ordered this country to close its consulate in Houston over accusations of espionage. Isaac?
What is China?
Yeah, that's correct. The accusations are definitely true. And in retaliation, China closed the U.S. consulate in a major city of Chengdu, China. All right, Isaac.
Let's do U.S. and the world 500.
China is currently forming a military and trade partnership with this country in a deal that would vastly extend its influence in the Middle East and undermine U.S. sanctions. Isaac.
What is Iran?
Yep. All right, go ahead and choose again.
Coronavirus 100.
Which state has the highest number of confirmed coronavirus cases with over 500,000? Adrian.
California.
Yeah, that's right. And actually, just this weekend, it surpassed the 500,000 milestone. I had to update that number today. All right, Adrian, go ahead.
Coronavirus 200.
Security officials in the US, UK, and Canada warned recently that this country is actively trying to steal coronavirus vaccine information. Isaac.
What is China?
Incorrect. Adrian.
Russia.
Yeah. So China, numerous intelligence officials actually last week briefed the Senate that they are more advanced in their capability to kind of hack information, but they're largely looking at more corporate sort of espionage and less so about coronavirus vaccine info. Adrian, go ahead.
Coronavirus 300.
The White House received bipartisan criticism for enacting a new rule that requires hospitals to send all data about coronavirus patients directly to Washington instead of here. Adrian?
The CDC.
Yeah, that's right. The criticism, like I said, was kind of bipartisan, and it was largely about the lack of transparency and how that would negatively impact researchers around the country in their development of vaccines and other research related to the virus. Adrian?
Coronavirus 400.
If this state were a country, it would rank 4th in the world for most new cases of coronavirus reported each day behind the US, Brazil, and India. Isaac?
What is Florida?
Yeah, that's right. And finally, 500. What is the name of the $2 trillion stimulus bill recently proposed by Senate Republicans to provide economic aid amidst the coronavirus pandemic? Adrian?
I think that's the HEROES Act.
Incorrect, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Isaac?
What is the HEALS Act?
Yeah, that's right. So the HEROES Act was the one proposed by Democrats in the House. Okay, so with that, we've kind of come to the halfway point, and so I just want to take a quick breather and get to know the contestants a little bit with a few kind of easy questions. And at that time, Becky, my producer, is also going to set up the second game board. All right, so starting with Greg, and I'm actually just going to ask the same question to everyone. What's something fun that you've done this summer to kind of get your mind off of quarantine? And if you haven't done anything particularly fun, what's something you're kind of looking forward to doing over the next few weeks or months?
Well, we did take a week and did a lot of kayaking and biking at the cottage we have in Wakanda. And it was enjoyable to get away from the office and
Nice.
get away from everything and turn off the internet and not be tied to your phone. Had a few things come up, but it was pretty relaxing week. It was very nice.
Nice. Okay. All right, Adrian. How about you? What's something fun that you've done over the course of the summer, or something that you're looking forward to doing?
Yeah, so we're feeling pretty cooped up in the Midwest. We're very accustomed to getting out of this region at least a couple times a year, and seeing something that's mountains or ocean or something. So and we haven't done that this summer for obvious reasons, but we're actually gonna go to go out east in a couple weeks. We're going to Cape Cod to go hang out at the beach for a couple weeks at the end of August. So we're going to spend 15 hours in the car with a 1-year-old for the first time, and that ought to be really fun. And if nothing else, will absolutely take our minds off of the coronavirus.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Isaac, how about you? Do anything? I mean, I know you're always like traveling for work. What's something special that you've done?
Well, fortunately, not traveling for work during these times, so
Oh, yeah.
working from home has been good. But I went backpacking with some buddies in Tahoe in June, and we went to Lake Aloha, and it was anything but. It was like 22 degrees overnight, pop-up snowstorm. So not very summery, but it was nevertheless nice to get away for a little bit.
Nice. Very jealous. All right, so with that, before we jump into the second round, the scores are as follows. In first place with 3,300 is Isaac, second with 1,900, Adrian, and third with 300, Greg. The categories of the second game board are more COVID-related questions, election 2020, the Trump administration, and again, major headlines. I'm going to go ahead and open it up to Greg to choose the first. Oh, yeah. And again, reminder for this round, if you answer incorrectly, the points will be deducted from your score.
Okay.
All right, Greg, go ahead.
Let's go election 2020 for 1,000. Can I do that?
Yeah. How many documented cases of voter fraud have occurred since 2000, during which over 1 billion votes have been cast? And you must be within 5 in order to be correct. Isaac.
44.
Yep, that's right.
Let's do election 2020 for 800.
The Department of Justice recently announced it will send federal agents to these 3 swing states in order to help local authorities tackle a spike in violent crime. Greg.
Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin.
Oh, you're 2 for 3. Isaac.
Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Arizona.
Also, you're 1 for 3. Adrian.
I should be able to do this by process of elimination.
Yeah. All right. Well, the correct answer is Ohio, Wisconsin, and Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah. And Adrian, I'm going to open it up to you to choose the next.
All right, let's do Trump administration for 200.
This state's attorney general is suing the Trump administration over the recent detainment of numerous protesters by federal agents. Adrian.
Oregon.
Yeah, that's right. The Portland mayor actually just recently came to an agreement with the DOJ to remove those federal agents. Okay, Adrian.
Trump admin 400.
President Trump signed an executive order ordering undocumented immigrants be excluded from this regular population count that determines congressional apportionment. Adrian again.
The census.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, a Trump admin 600.
This member of the Trump administration testified before Congress last month over concerns about the Department of Justice overstepping its power. Isaac.
Who's Barr?
Yeah, Attorney General Bill Barr. Specifically, the concerns, mostly among Democrats, were that he was politicizing the department in order to help bolster the Trump campaign. Isaac?
Let's do Trump admin for 800.
The Justice Department recently indicted 2 nationals of this country for hacking into a number of U.S. businesses and government organizations. Isaac again.
What is China?
Yep, there it is. All right. Isaac?
Let's round out Trump admin for 1,000.
The Trump administration recently implemented changes to this landmark environmental bill, which had been in place for over 50 years. Adrian?
The Clean Air Act?
Ooh, incorrect.
No, that's the wrong one.
Greg?
Clean Water Act.
Yeah.
Also incorrect.
Ah!
So this
I'm
one's
not going to try.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's only one more act left, but
yeah, this one's pretty tough. It's got a super generic name the National Environmental Policy Act.
Jeez.
Yeah, basically what the rule change did was just drastically shorten the amount of time that environmental review process needs to take and limit the number of companies that it applies to, which is seen as a major victory to natural gas and oil companies. I don't know who. I think Isaac. It's up to you to choose.
okay, let's do 600 for election 2020.
How many states do not require voters to provide an excuse in order to vote by mail?
Jeez.
Isaac?
What is 33?
Ooh, incorrect. Anyone else?
Exact number. That was the question you had last week. I can't
Yeah.
remember
All right, the correct answer is 34.
now. Ooh.
Yeah, so the remaining 16 states, of those 8 allow coronavirus concerns to be a legitimate excuse, but the other 8 do not. Okay, I'm going to open it to Greg to choose next category.
Major headlines for 1,000.
Twitter recently removed more than 7,000 accounts associated with this conspiracy group amid a crackdown on potentially harmful speech. Adrian.
That QAnon?
Yeah, that's right. And I don't know how familiar y'all are with that group, but basically, I mean, they believe a variety of things, but mostly that there's a cabal of sort of A-list celebrities and mostly Democratic politicians kind of working with foreign governments around the world to engage in a variety of nefarious activities, including like child sex trafficking and trying to thwart the Trump presidency. Okay. Adrian?
Major headlines 800.
The Supreme Court recently threw out 2 lawsuits effectively ruling that blank school teachers are not covered by employment discrimination laws. Adrian?
Oh shoot, Catholic?
Yeah, close enough. Religious is...
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Adrian, go ahead.
Major headline 600.
The Trump administration announced that it will stop accepting new applications for this Obama-era program, which protects some undocumented immigrants who came to the U.S. as children from deportation. And Isaac.
What is DACA?
Yeah. Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program.
Let's do more COVID for 1,000.
At the height of the Great Depression, the U.S. economy contracted by 13% in 1 year. How much did it contract in the last 3 months, according to figures that were just released last week? And Adrian.
33%?
Yep, that's right.
Let's do major headlines 400.
President Trump recently received bipartisan criticism after he commuted the prison sentence of this Republican strategist and personal friend. Adrian again.
Roger Stone.
Yeah.
Major headlines 200.
A federal court struck down a Georgia law last month that was one of the strictest blank laws in the country. Isaac?
What is abortion?
Yeah, that's right. The law would have banned abortions once a fetal heartbeat could be detected, which is essentially 6 weeks into pregnancy, which critics argue is before many people know they're even pregnant in the first place. Okay, Isaac, go ahead and choose.
Let's do more COVID for 800.
The total number of people who have died from coronavirus around the world surpassed what milestone last month? Greg?
Million?
Incorrect. Isaac?
What is 500,000? Half
Yeah.
million?
Yeah, that's right. Okay, Isaac?
More COVID 600.
The White House announced, then later rolled back, in order to stop issuing visas to international students who do what this fall semester? Adrian.
Take all their classes online.
Yeah, that's right. Adrian, go ahead.
All right, election 2020 400.
Joe Biden recently unveiled the fourth and final piece of his economic recovery agenda, which is called what? Adrian.
Build Back Better.
Yeah. Go ahead and choose again.
Election 2020 200.
According to the Constitution, who has the authority to postpone an election? Isaac?
What is the legislative branch?
Yeah, that's right. It's Congress. And obviously that question's significant because 2 weeks ago, maybe last week, Trump tweeted something suggesting that he would potentially postpone it due to fears of the coronavirus. All right, Isaac?
Let's do more COVID 200.
Numerous major retailers, including Walmart, Kroger, and Kohl's, announced that they will require customers to do what in order to help stop the spread of coronavirus? Adrian?
Wear a mask.
Yep, that's right. All right, last category. The Trump administration recently began the formal process of withdrawing from this international organization over criticism of its handling of the coronavirus pandemic. And Adrian?
The World Health Organization, WHO.
Yeah, that is correct. All right, so with that, we've come to the end of the first and second round. The scores are as follows. In first place with 6,300 is Adrian. Second place with 6,100 is Isaac. And third place, we're just going to go to 0, is Greg. Okay, so the first two questions, the answer is a percentage. And so you need to be within 5% in order for it to be considered correct. The third question is not a percentage. All right, so the first question. Last month saw the continuation of nationwide protests over police brutality and racial inequity, with clashes between protesters and heavily armed police in numerous cities turning violent. According to a recent Pew Research poll, approximately what percent of Americans support decreasing police spending in their areas? Okay. Well, it looks like no one got that correct. The correct answer is 25%. Okay, second question. In July, the average number of new coronavirus cases in the U.S. each week increased by about 20%, even though the CDC estimated that the total number of cases is likely about 10 times higher, depending on the area, than what's actually being reported. According to recent polling, approximately what percent of Americans believe that the true coronavirus death toll in the U.S. is lower than the official count? All right, and all three of you got it correct.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll take the money.
Yeah, that was good. The correct answer is 33%. Okay, so before I read the final question, in which you guys are able to wager as many points as you wish, I just want to go over the points. Sorry, Greg.
Wings in the final question.
So
Can I get that 500?
yeah, no, you got it.
Right.
Adrian in a very tight first place with 6,800, Isaac 6,600, and Greg with 500. So for this last question, I'm going to allow you to wager, but you need to send me your wager first before I read the question. Greg, going all out.
Well,
I mean, you kind of have to at this point.
All right, well,
yeah, right.
The classic Holzhauer move.
Yeah, so it looks like everyone is all in, so that that'll make this
Oh,
interesting.
come on.
Here we go.
go big or go home.
Gotta go big or go home. All right, here it is. Here it is. At the end of July, John Lewis, a longtime U.S. congressman from Georgia and leader of the civil rights movement, died of cancer. Lewis was widely seen as the moral conscience of Congress due to his decades-long fight for social justice, and he was the last surviving speaker of the historic 1963 March on Washington. The televised beatings of peaceful protesters led by Lewis in 1965 Alabama led to the immediate passage of what landmark legislation? Okay. And it appears I made that question far too easy because you all got it correct. The Voting Rights Act is the correct answer.
Everybody have V at the beginning.
Easy, that just means we're all really,
Well, actually, yeah, technically Greg is the only one who wrote the Voting Rights Act with correct capitalization and everything. So we'll give an extra point for that effort. So with that, Skipper and I want to congratulate Adrian for winning the month.
Oh, he's cute.
Yeah. Adrian, congratulations for winning the month of July Game Show Challenge. Skipper sends his
Very
guys.
exciting.
So yeah, I just want to thank all three of our contestants for joining today and remind anyone watching that if you want a chance to win $50 or compete against some random strangers by answering similar political trivia, go to whatsmypolitiq.com and create your own profile